Hello friends, this is Jasu Bakuhatsu, and welcome to Let's Play Knuckles 3 and Knuckles, featuring Knuckles from Knuckles starring Knuckles! Actually, this is just Sonic the Hedgehog, or Sonic 3 Complete, yet again. We're going to be playing through as Knuckles this time around, and yeah, so let's just get right into it. So yeah, I played this game, like, just a moment ago, just like a couple minutes. I just got finished my Let's Play of this game, using Sonic and Tails. But, I don't know, like I said, I love this game so much, I just can't get enough of it, so just the act of playing it and finishing it just has me amped to play more of it. Like, I was kind of on the fence as to whether I wanted to do a Knuckles playthrough. Like, I figured I'd probably do it eventually, but maybe, like, sometime later, once the channel's had some, kind of a bit of a break from Sonic for a little bit. And who knows, maybe I'll upload this later, maybe I won't. But, yeah, just right now, I'm in the mood for more Sonic. That's what playing Sonic does, is it puts me in the mood for more Sonic. So that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, once again, we're playing Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Complete, the definitive version of the game, in my opinion. And I changed up a few of the options from last time. I basically got the settings, rather than just, showing off some of the neat new stuff from Sonic 3 Complete. I basically just set it to the options that I usually like. We're using the Sonic and Knuckles level layouts as I usually like. We're using all of the Sonic 3 music as opposed to the Sonic PC music, which is what I like best. And what was the other option? There was another option I changed. Oh well, whatever. We got, and oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, we got all the original music back as well. All the original stage music. Like, yeah, you can see that we're got the Sonic 3 boss music, which is the best boss music in my opinion. I love this. And yeah, we got the stage music back for any of you guys who are like super duper disappointed that you didn't get to hear, Ice Cap and Carnival Night and Launch Base and all those awesome zone themes from the original LP series for Sonic 3 Complete. Yeah, you're gonna get to hear those this time around. So yeah, don't worry, I've got you covered. Or I guess Sonic 3 Complete has you covered, because yeah, you can play the game however you want. Knuckles, and yeah, I guess you're gonna see right here the reason why I think Knuckles is kind of interesting and worth showing off. Because yeah, the zones that he plays through, or the level layouts that he plays through, are completely different. Or at least a lot of them are completely different from the levels that Sonic and Tails play through. Like this little section of level here, Sonic and Tails will never see like a single pixel of this part of the level when they're playing through, or what is this, Angel Island Act 2. So it's like, it's almost like playing like a brand new game, almost. I mean, sure, parts of it are the same. In fact, much of it is pretty much the same stuff that you went through with Sonic and Tails. But he has a surprising number of levels that are just basically completely unique to him. This being one of them. Now, which I thought was worth showing off, which was the reason why I thought it would be worthwhile to do a Knuckles playthrough of this game. Now, as to whether they're kind of worth playing through in themselves is kind of iffy. Personally, as much as I've been doing a lot of praising and gushing about the level designs in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's like, some of the finest 2D platformer level design in gaming history. In my own mind, at least. Oh, I think I'm a bit too low. Shit. Yeah, it's really, really tough to get the quick kill with Knuckles there. But, anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, anyways, all the stuff about, all my compliments about the level design kind of go out the window when it comes to the Knuckles, or at least the Knuckles unique stages in the game, which are mostly terrible. Or, I mean, not terrible, or okay, yeah. Mostly bad and partially terrible. I'll say that. That's the highest praise I think I can give it. And actually, if I'm not careful, I might end up freaking dying here. I'm down to 2 lives already. Yeah, like, you can kind of see a hint of it in that, even this early, even in Zone 1, Act 2, like, what did we just play through? What was that unique Knuckles level that we just saw there? It was just a perfectly linear, just slog through a big freaking field of just nothing but spikes everywhere. spikes and moving platforms. That's all there was to it. There's not... Yeah, the Knuckles unique levels really don't have the same sense of just openness and creativity, frankly, that the original levels did. So yeah, the level design in the Knuckles stages is generally a really big step down. Also, oh, okay, I was much higher than I thought I was. There we go. So that's kind of a shame, because yeah, Knuckles, it's kind of a waste of one of the neatest potential things that could have been good about this game. The fact that you've got 3 characters to work with, like you've got with 3, you know, very distinct move sets. Like, I mean, they all share, you know, the common core essentially of, you know, your spin dash, your spin jump, and that's basically it. Yeah, your dash, spin dash, and your jump. And then each character has different moves to sort of differentiate things from there. Oops. Oh, I think I screwed that up. Oh, well. So, which is a neat concept. And furthermore, each of the stages are, or at least, you know, the stages that aren't Knuckles unique, are really well designed for the fact that there are 3 different characters. You've got certain parts of the stages that only Knuckles can get to with his wall climbing and gliding abilities. You've got certain parts of the stage that only Tails can get to with his flying ability, which is a bit more versatile than Knuckles. There aren't that many Tails unique sections of level, to be honest, but, you know, there's a few. Oh, if it wasn't clear by now, I am not getting the Chaos Emeralds this time around with Knuckles. Doesn't even matter. Knuckles doesn't have a Doomsday Zone. He doesn't even have a Death Egg Zone, so yeah, who even gives a damn? So we can just blitz through as normal. Like I said, switched all the options back to what I normally like, and we're playing through the game in the style that I normally like, which is, you know, no emeralds. Ah, I screwed that up. Shit. I wanted to jump off the side there, latch onto the wall, and then glide across to hit that boss a bunch of times. Shit. Can I get him? Hey, nice. That's actually kind of a tricky hit there. Or at least to get it without getting hit. Anyways, so, yeah, like, in theory, it's a really neat idea, and kind of alluded to this at the very, very end of my, Sonic and Tails playthrough of this game, but frankly, I think it's a promise that went unfulfilled in this game. There aren't that many different parts of the level that are, like, you know, kind of unique to the different characters. Like I said, there's maybe like 2 parts in the whole game that only Tails can get to, and it's like a dead end with a 1-up at the end, at the end of all of it. And yeah, the Knuckles, then the parts of the levels that only Knuckles can get to are mostly garbage. So yeah, it's like it's a really cool idea, though, the notion that you've got these levels that are designed for multiple characters to get through. Multiple characters will get through the levels in different ways by using their different unique abilities. It's a really, really cool idea. It's just the levels aren't, and the levels are very, very slightly designed towards that, but not quite enough for the reasons I just kind of stated. And anyways, as I was saying, as I sort of alluded to at the end of my Sonic and Tails playthrough, I think that's kind of a promise that went unfulfilled by this game that would years and years and years later be sort of met by Freedom Planet. Freedom Planet did the multi-character thing incredibly well, like leagues better, I think, than Sonic and Knuckles in Sonic 3, or whatever you want to call it. Or at least it handled the multi-character thing leagues better than that. That's a game where you've got, like, stages that are very clearly very well tailored to the different characters' abilities in very different ways, and the characters are even more diverse in that game than they are in this game. So it's like, Freedom Planet. I gotta play that game for the channel someday, but that's not what we're playing now. Playing Sonic. Yeah, we're playing Knuckles 3 featuring Knuckles, and Knuckles from Knuckles featuring Knuckles. That's a great YouTube video. You guys should all look it up if you haven't seen it already. I don't know what to search for. Just probably Knuckles in Knuckles, just Knuckles on YouTube, and you'll see probably the greatest Knuckles the Echidna music video that probably exists now and probably will ever exist. But or I don't know. Music, anything featuring the rap, or I guess that does feature the Knuckles rap themes from the Sonic Adventure games. So I guess yeah, that about says it right there. If it wasn't clear, I'm no longer working from a script. No, I didn't have a script for the old series, but I had a notepad at least, full of kind of ideas and concepts, right after I was done the invincibility. That sucks. It's because the 1-up theme masked the invincibility theme and threw off my timing. Anyways, yeah, I had a sheet of notes that just sort of mentioned a bunch of topics and themes that I wanted to cover over the course of the LP. I basically covered all of those in that series, so I'm essentially flying without a net here to mix my metaphors, I guess. God, I'm so used to playing with Sonic that I'm even playing like Sonic. I paused to wait for Knuckles to come out right there. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Well, yeah, basically this is pretty entirely off the cuff here. I have no prepared commentary, not really much to talk about left in this game. Or I guess one thing I was thinking about, just while I was kind of mulling over the events of the previous playthrough, I spent exceptionally little talking about the game. It's the stuff that was happening on screen. It's just, I played this game so many times, it's so much of it, it's just muscle memory at this point. I was just able to blitz through on autopilot practically. Not entirely, obviously, since I, fucked up the bonus stages and all that. But I didn't really get a chance to cover the stages in any detail or anything like that. So I guess I'm thinking that's maybe what I'll do this time around. Okay, so yeah, and also I guess the differences between the Knuckles path through the game versus the Sonic and Tails paths. First off here, many of the bosses are more difficult when you're playing as Knuckles, and you can see, yeah, the first difference in that regard here. This boss, a fair bit more difficult as Knuckles. Reason for that being that he does not lower himself into the water to create the little whirlpool there, and that's your main opportunity to hit him, or at least the easiest one. So you gotta, if you didn't learn the alternate ways to hit that boss in the Sonic and Tails playthrough, you're gonna have a real tough time there. You're gonna get one hit on him probably per cycle, which is just insanely tedious and horrible. You really gotta get on top of learning how to jump off of those water bombs in order to not have a terrible time with that boss. So yeah, it's really kind of advanced concepts that you have to master sometimes with some of these bosses. It really is a playthrough that I think is designed probably to be played after you've already beaten the game with Sonic and Tails. Or at least in the Sonic 3 levels. Yeah, the Sonic 3 versions of the Knuckles levels. And actually, honestly, this the Sonic 3 half of the game that has the most differences, just because the Sonic 3 half was specifically designed for Sonic and Tails. So there's a lot of places that they added actually in Sonic and Knuckles, or for the Sonic and Knuckles version of the game. In fact, this here, Knuckles can't get up here. Knuckles has a lower jump than Sonic and Tails, so he can't get there. Where does he go instead? I actually don't remember. Oh, that's right. I think he climbs up this wall here, if I remember correctly. It's been a long, long time since I played through with Knuckles. Yeah, there we go. That's the ticket. Okay, and then we can glide up there from here and collect all these rings to, yeah, get this platform that'll let us go over here, where we just came from. Yeah. Yeah, I've pretty much memorized all the level layouts in this game. So, yeah. Knuckles... Anyway, so I was saying, yeah, I mentioned in the previous playthrough with Sonic and Tails how, yeah, the first time I beat this game was with Knuckles. It wasn't actually this game. It was I first beat Sonic and Knuckles, just Sonic and Knuckles, without the lock-on to Sonic 3. I first beat with Knuckles just because, just like I said, the Sonic and Knuckles half of the game isn't that different from Sonic's. So it's like you're playing the same game as you were with Sonic, except with the very useful climbing ability that lets you skip a bunch of stuff, and with the last two zones lopped off, or really the last two zones lopped off at the end, so it's kind of a little bit of a shorter experience. And indeed, that's kind of the reason why I feel comfortable after 2.5 hours of Sonic 3 and Knucklesing. I feel fine coming back to this right now and doing a Knuckles run right afterwards, just because I know that this one will go much, much quicker. Number one, without the emeralds, and number two, just because the Knuckles version of the game is much shorter than Sonic's. And also a lot of Knuckles' versions of the levels are also much shorter than Sonic's. Namely, Carnival Night. Carnival Night is, like, super duper duper short compared to the Sonic and Tails versions of those levels. Particularly the Sonic versions of those levels, actually, because Tails has access to several shortcuts that can make Carnival Night a lot shorter for him in particular.